So boys, I picked this blower up at the mowing, and for the amount I gave for it, I'm content. It also came from Freeport Lawn and Garden, which the guy I bought it from wasn't far from Clarion, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think all I'm going to do is run it. I may try and oil the bearings and quiet them up a little bit, but there's no grease fittings on them near as I could tell, which is the downfall to a snowblower. Great, grand. Alright boys and girls, I have a bad habit of not recording when I'm in the middle of these projects, and that's why you see the beginning and ends of a lot of stuff. But I'm tubing the tire here on the 16G. I had realized this was apparently one of the ones that I had put slime in, or something, over the years. I'll have to go back and look, but probably coming up on 10 years ago I got this tractor. Well, it was at least after I got my small trailer, so that was 2015. It was Big White that hauled it home, so that makes it before 18. So, I don't know. I'm guessing 16 I got this tractor, so maybe it's been 9 years. But, yeah. So, this tire had been going low last winter. I mean, probably if I redosed it with slime, it would be fine, but that's kind of a band-aid. These tires are dry rotted. But this tractor, it's not like it does any real heavy pushing, per se. It mainly spends a lot of time crawling in a very low gear, under not a terrible amount of load to the tires. So we're going to tube them and go from there. I guess I'm tubing this one. The other one, knock on John Deere fiberglass, is good at the moment. I don't know. I guess we're going to get into making a bracket for this. I gotta find some metal for it. I wonder if I can make it out of some pieces of square stock. It's just a piece of flat steel that bolts to the frame and then bolts to that. Dumb behind the camera. Didn't realize that until I went to try and install it. So anyhow, I'm watching CNC equipment on the boob tube there. And I'm going to turn that back on and put the tube in the tire, and I'll let you know if something miraculously goes wrong. Well boys, I only got a couple of pictures from this morning. We did have a little bit of snow, just enough to cover the grass, and you can kind of see it back through the woods there. So, I guess it's time to work on the snow removal equipment. Should really get this mower deck in somewhere. And that snowblower, and the other two mower decks that's on the other side over there, and all that stuff. Alright, I can't open the door with everything in my hand. So if you guys can see loosely, I don't know, it's about 50 degrees in here, which compared to it being 30 some outside is not bad. I've just had the little heater going in here. So as far as stuff to do, the bracket is in the mail for this tractor. This tractor also needs a battery, which I think I'm going to go out and pull back out of that 430, I think. The nice thing about this tractor, you can take the battery in and out real quick. The 430 with the 424 motor needs completely wired. And there is a voltage regulator. Oh no, see, that voltage regulator won't work with that. That's the whole problem why the 424 needs a voltage regulator. So, any hoozle. I got the 430 to work on. Still needs wiring, cables ran, throttle and choke cable hooked up and stuff. The 812, I believe, needs a new condenser put on it, and a battery would be nice in it. This tractor runs along and then it loses power when it gets hot, so it's either a coil or a condenser. I'm going to try a condenser and just see what happens. The 818 needs checked over for snowplow work here. Needs the chains put on, irregardless if I'm going to put the blower on or not. And I need to try and figure out the hydraulic oil leak, and probably changing the motor oil would not be a bad idea. And I also am missing some snowplow latches, so I'm in the process of making some. And you guys can see the unfinished product there, but that's how I start out, and that's pretty much everything going on here. So, camera's still acting up. This is 2 days later after plow day. It's actually been good here this morning. The autofocus just locks up, throws that error code, and then you gotta bang the camera until the memory card falls out, and then it seems like it works then. I don't understand it. So anyhow, I haven't shut the camera off yet today, and I guess I'm going to here and see what happens. I gotta plug my phone in, plug this in, and I'm gonna get a fire going out here so it's a little bit warmer. So BRB, boys. Hopefully. Alright guys, well, against my better judgment, I just made some snowplow latch brackets. So this one here, pretty good. It's just a little shorter. The piece of metal I had, when I broke it in half, that's how it ended up. I don't think it'll be a problem. This one up here, for whatever reason, I don't know, I got this hole off in the get-go, so I had to enlarge it just so it would line up. There we go. And obviously they made that off. Apparently I got a crooked cut there, and I don't know. For whatever reason, this bracket's not as nice as this bracket. Do I think it'll do the job? Yep. Is it going to go on a 400 series? I'll probably never put a snowplow on? Probably, yep. So am I concerned? Nope. The original one, however, I'll put on the 8122 and put a snowplow on it. Alright boys, I did get the chains on the 818. I didn't do anything else to it though. I did put the snowplow latches on here. They're down on the inside. I think you guys can see the shiny right there. And you can see that one halfway decent. So everything there looks okay. Probably never put a snowplow on that tractor, but you know, could if I wanted to. So other than that, yeah, obviously I finally cleaned this table up and got it out of here because it takes up a lot of space. And there's how bad the 818 is leaking, because I had it up here while I was putting the tire chains on. So I gotta address that sooner than later. I gotta see where that valve's leaking. So valve, line, cylinder, one of the three, maybe all of the three, I don't know. But anyhow guys, I think that's it for tonight. Maybe tomorrow snowblower bracket will come in. I literally just shut the fan off on the heater and it's already cooled down 3 or 4 degrees. I do believe it's about 20 degrees outside. Or not 20, like 30 degrees. So, alright, I'm going in guys. Later. Alright, I don't know what this has to do with this camera, but if you take the memory card out and put it back in, it works. It's weird, but I guess functional. So anyhow, I got the blower controls routed into the cab. The bracket is supposed to show up with ups today when it comes in. So I got everything sitting in here. My only wonder is, how is this going to work? Because you have the forward and reverse control. The only thing I'm hoping is that the bracket holds it, you know, right about in here, so there's enough room for your hands and everything. Because this is the upper part, so you don't need much room for the deflector control, but you need room for the crank handle down there. So I'm gonna wait till the bracket shows up for the 35 bucks I have into it. Hopefully it'll do. So bracket shows up, I'll let you guys know. I'm glad I figured that trick out with the camera. I don't have to bang it off the tractor or something. Sandy is having the time for life with a water bottle. I don't know if you guys can hear the plastic chewing noises. I'm sure you can. Also, it's 29 degrees outside. It's like 80 in here. I built a little too big of a fire, I think. Oopsies. Alright boys, I straightened out my reel as much as I could. It's definitely a lot better, but, you know, you can tell it was hit before. And I also got the cab up back here. Check the oil, and it's actually a scotch over full, which I probably did that for just in case. The one thing I would love to do to this tractor is put a oil pressure light on it. That way you could tell, because you have to, it's a small ordeal. It's not the biggest end of the world, but it's a pain in the butt to check the oil on this. And I've had a half notion just to cut a hole up here somewhere and do that, but I haven't quite brought myself to do that yet. So, alright. So, pretty much, I guess I'm going to put the cab back down and we'll fill her up with some hydraulic oil or ATF for the blower, because this one, I'm thinking it goes in the transmission on this, because it never makes it out to the ground that I found, the hydraulic oil. And, yep. And then really, we get that bracket. Should be good to go. Alright boys, I went and checked the tracking number, and turns out my dad had got it and just stuffed it in the house. Nice. So let's put this on the tractor, shall we? I don't know where this thing bolts on. Over there somewhere. Oh yeah. Hi caramba. Alright, see if we can figure this out. Alright boys and girls, before I round this video out, because I realized I never did show this, I wanted to show the bracket mounted. So it actually mounts, this is a hand clutch tractor, it mounts in the two holes right here in front of the shifter. Not the second set of holes up there. And it does just miss everything. You can work the chute. Might be a little hard to work the deflector, but like I said, the deflector's missing a knob. That's something I'm going to kind of work on off camera. I may thread it and thread something on there, because you don't really twist it, you push and pull it. I guess that was my meter going off. But yeah, so all in all, I'm happy with this. As you guys have already seen the other Easter egg here. Wait, first I thought it was because the tractor was sitting in a hole, but them blower brackets are not level at all. I have the blower on the 818. I'm trying to figure out the hydraulics, main thing. So that's another video for another day. So. Anyhow, since my other outro was terrible, thanks for watching, guys. Get to everybody the next one. Later. Enjoy the outro. Maybe I'll start throwing clips after the credits. Could be. Maybe that's what I start doing with the random clips that don't go anywhere else. I like where this is going. Okay. Later, guys.